Welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm Vox, and Spider-Man Far From Home dropped a brand new trailer. Of course, spoiler warning, but dropping not even 2 weeks after the release of Avengers Endgame, we get to see the aftermath of these last two Avengers films. How the world has changed and how Peter's world in general has changed. Nothing will ever be the same for him. But beyond Peter figuring himself out after the death of Tony Stark, something that made everyone do a double take was the elaboration of Mysterio. As according to Nick Fury, this Mysterio is from another universe. That the snap tore open a gateway between worlds, and the MCU is opening its doors up to a multiverse. Seemingly. Now, I find it interesting this trailer does not specify which snap. Was it Thanos's? Was it Hulk's? Was it Tony's? Was it a combination of all three? That's speculation for another time. Let's focus on Mysterio. What's the twist with this character? Looking at the source material, every incarnation of Quentin Beck shares the trait that he's a fraud in some way, shape, or form. I assume that will be a similar path here, but with an additional twist the audience won't see coming. Mysterio being a fraud is the obvious twist to hide another twist, similar to Spider-Man Homecoming. The biggest twist in that film wasn't Vulture's identity, or the fact he was using Chitauri tech, or his grand, brilliant plan, but ultimately the revelation that he was the father of Liz Allen, Peter Parker's crush in the film, but you guys all seen the movie, I don't need to explain all that. So with Far From Home, I think the initial twist will likely be that while his powers are genuine, at least the ability to fly and perform some kind of magic, the villains that Mysterio creates aren't real. Multi-Man, Hydra Man, they're illusions, his own creations. But perhaps Sandman won't be an illusion. He'll be a genuine 100% authentic human being, or monster. But that's just because I really want to see Flint Marko in the MCU. That could be a twist in itself. But no, that's not the big twist. It'd be a welcome addition, but I think something that would make our jaws drop would be the true identity of Mysterio. We all know he's not who he says he is. But what if it goes deeper? What if his true origin blows our minds? So I'm gonna list 5 possibilities on how this second twist could go. Some are super out there, and some goes, wait, yeah, no, that totally makes sense, and it's pretty simple. So let's dive in with possibility 1. He's not from an alternate universe. The tear that leads to a different universe is real. Fury and Maria Hill would be able to verify that with energy signatures like the ones that emitted from Wakanda in Infinity War. Despite this, Beck isn't from that Earth. No. He's just someone from the MCU Earth. Earth 199,999. Yeah, that's a lot of nines. Beck is simply taking advantage at the death of Iron Man, Thor's departure, Captain America becoming old, and Hulk out of commission due to his arm being all sorts of messed up thanks to using the gauntlet. Beck plans to rise up as a new superhero, staging these illusions we see him combat to simply gain admiration, notoriety, and probably money. He simply just claims he's from a different universe to cover his tracks on why he didn't arise sooner. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't know about the tear in space-time. I feel like after this snap, scientists all over the world will be all over what's happening in the universe, trying to figure out what's going to come next. But let's move over to possibility 2. Mysterio is a villain in his home universe. Perhaps on his Earth, he both fought and was foiled by Spider-Man. And when Hulk or Tony Snap happened, he ended up in Earth 199999. Seeing this as a second chance at life, Mysterio creates a new identity for himself, attempting to be good. And trust me, there's definitely quotation marks with good. Staging and combating these illusions to look good, so people will think he's capable as a hero. The timing of the OG Avengers bowing out is just a perfect coincidence. Or he could be gaining the trust of the masses in an attempt to control them, because hey, villain. One line of dialogue I want to point out from the first Far From Home trailer that I'm hoping will be in the film is Flash Thompson pointing out that Mysterio looks like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one. 2 Avengers who aren't around. One's dead and one's off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So again, Mysterio rising up to gain street cred by filling in the void the Avengers left, that'd be smart. Now let's take a look at possibility 3. He's a different Peter Parker. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but let me explain. Maybe I can sway your mind a bit. My editor suggested this, and the more I thought about it, yeah, it does make sense. It could work. What if this is a Peter Parker who, instead of getting bit by a radioactive spider, obtained powers through other means, but went down the wrong path as a result of Uncle Ben's death? Or maybe Uncle Ben never died. Either way, the idea that great power comes with great responsibility never reached him, and he decides to use this opportunity presented to him for the wrong reasons. I mean, look at the very first Raimi film. Peter was using his newfound powers for wrestling to get money. What if this Mysterio, should he be a different Peter Parker, ended up pulling a similar stunt, and it worked out for him the first time? He got wads of cash, so he decided to run with it. In this Peter's eyes, more money, less problems. Slipping into Earth 159's, Mysterio, or alternate Peter, carries things out business as usual, except now he has to deal with a version of himself who actually is a true and tried hero. Now, you may be thinking, isn't Tom Holland Peter's eyes blue though? And yeah, but if we look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that film also had two Peter Parkers who were also born years apart, and one was blonde with blue eyes. But most of his facial features still looked like the other Peter, so I wouldn't say it would be anything unprecedented. Jake Gyllenhaal actually looks like he could be an older Tom Holland, or like his dad, which is almost the same thing. Also, Gyllenhaal was considered to play Spider-Man at one point, so it would be a nice touch on a meta level. He finally gets to be Spider-Man. Well, not Spider-Man, but he finally gets to be Peter Parker. Not to mention in the comics, Mysterio used to be a special effects wizard who worked for a major studio. And we know MCU Peter has an affinity for films, referencing The Empire Strikes Back and Aliens in Civil War and Infinity War. We also know Peter is very intelligent, which is why this hypothetical Mysterio Peter would be capable of putting together the technology that he sports. It'd be something akin to the insane Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3, and would probably be just as controversial, but then more well received as the years go by. Now, alright, you may be thinking, okay, that's super crackpot. These last two are gonna be flat out absurd. You know what? I'm done. No, wait, don't go yet. Let's come back a little bit more down to earth. Well, at least as earth as you can get with the Marvel Cinematic Universe for possibility 4. Mysterio really is who he says he is, minus the illusions. He's from another universe, he's regarded as a hero in that universe, but it's still because of the fake illusions. Far From Home could see him descend from a pretend hero to a legitimate supervillain. He's a guy who wants to be a superhero. He stages attacks and he saves the day, but he's still a fraud, more or less acting like a villain than a hero, which could tie into the theme of this film very well, but let's save that for the end and quickly touch on possibility 5. Last but not least, what if Mysterio is simply a test for Peter to go through by Nick Fury himself? Yes, Mysterio and Nick Fury are working together in some sort of trial for Peter to go through. He's not from an alternate universe at all, there's actually no tear, Fury just made that up, and Mysterio is someone he has ties to, perhaps a remaining or former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. Fury is testing Peter's ability to act like a hero at all times, not just when he wants to. He can't deny the responsibilities he's been given in favor of asking out a girl and enjoying his field trip. I mean, after all, isn't it a little bit convenient Fury is having these problems in Europe, where Peter currently is on a field trip with Mysterio? If this was a recurring problem, wouldn't these elementals already be in the public eye causing a scene? Wouldn't Mysterio already have made an appearance by now? Why is it only here when Peter's on a field trip after the trailer establishes that he's been ghosting Nick Fury does all of this happen? It's because it's all a test. That being said, the test will lead into Mysterio revealing, oh, I actually am a villain, and he would betray Fury, and yeah, Peter would still have to take down Mysterio because, oh my god, he's still a bad guy. Rogues Gallery! But there you have it. 5 theories, 5 possibilities on Quentin Beck's true identity and Spider-Man Far From Home. Before we close out though, the theme of this film. Something that I think all these possibilities would have to mirror and complement. A line that stuck out to me, and I'm sure many people with this trailer, is what Peter said. The world needs a new Iron Man. Now, granted, it looks like he's actually saying that to Mysterio in the trailer, so he's probably saying, hey buddy, we need a new Iron Man, why not you? But in the context of the trailer and the story the trailer is telling us, Peter is clearly referring to himself. he wants to continue Tony Stark's legacy. He's not literally going to become Iron Man, he's not going to be wearing a suit of armor, well, unless you count the Iron Spider, but he does more or less want to be Tony Stark. But he can't. Not only would that not be letting go, he has to find his own identity as Spider-Man. Spider-Man needs to be Spider-Man, which is something I think the conclusion of the film will come to. He can't be someone he's not. He has to be himself, and he has to be his own hero with his own legacy separate from Tony Stark. And that actually takes me to another theory I want to discuss real soon. So be sure to be subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when. Our Marvel content is only possible by you guys. If a video does well, we can keep making them. If not, well, we gotta keep the lights on. So if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like. It means the world. But what did you guys think of the brand new Spider-Man Far From Home trailer? What do you think about these theories? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for my own thoughts, you can find me at Fox. We're also on Instagram. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day, and Fox signing out. Peace!